say some days you're gonna win. You say some days you're gonna lose. I tell you, I got news for you. You're losing all the time, you never win. No. If you believe that's how it's gonna be, I better put you down. Get up, you take your butt, you come out on the ground. You gotta save me now. You better turn around. And I looked around. I was heading down. Oh, somebody throw me down the line.
9:02, the last day of April, and it's a rainy one, man. We're going to get this all day. Daily show hitting you. We got a good one coming up in just a few minutes. We're talking all things departure days with the Lewis and Clark State Historic Site. Always glad to have those guys back in the studio. Then at 10:10, our friends from Centerstone will join us, and they'll be bringing us the latest from their substance use disorder treatment and crisis stabilization units. Excited to talk about more details when it comes to those great resources. And then at 10:35, Lacy McDonald will join us and take us back in the time machine about 100 years ago, and we'll have some more fun in the studio. But man, oh man, I don't know if the rain's getting to you, but my sinuses are just killing me today. It's going to be one that we got to power through, you know what I'm saying? Hey, but here's what you need to know. Make sure you sign up for that daily email update. You can join myself. 70,000 people that are in the know each and every day of the work week and on Saturdays with Around the Riverbend. We'll take you to Alton first. Travis Watley, 40 of Alton, has been charged on the 28th of April with aggravated unlawful restraint and domestic battery. This follows our report on that domestic disturbance on Sunday on Mulberry Street. Alton police responded around 9 a.m. when a female victim reported being battered and held against her will by Watley. The woman safely left the residence, and Watley surrendered to authorities. Police executed a search warrant at his home, collecting evidence related to the case. Watley faces Class 3 felony charges and is held at Madison County Jail pending a detention hearing. He is presumed innocent until proven guilty in a court of law. Also in the news today, a Cottage Hills woman, Stacy M. Frank, 37 years of age, has been charged with criminal damage to property, a Class 4 felony, after allegedly damaging the windshield of a Tesla Model 3 on January the 21st. The damage reportedly exceeded $500. Frank granted pretrial release following the charges filed by the South Roxana Police Department, and on the same day, Elizabeth Hargrove, 34 of South Roxana, was charged with unlawful possession of a stolen vehicle, a Class 2 felony. Hargrove allegedly possessed a stolen 2000 Mitsubishi Galant registered in Missouri on February the 4th. Both cases are ongoing, and the individuals are presumed innocent until proven guilty in a court of law. Jessica Wyatt, 44 years of age, of East Alton, has been charged with multiple felonies related to identity theft affecting 14 individuals, including 4 seniors. Here's what we know. On October the 18th, Wyatt allegedly stole sensitive personal and financial information such as bank accounts, social security numbers, and driver's license details. She also possessed fraudulent checks intended to access another person's funds. The East Alton Police Department brought these charges against Wyatt, who was granted pretrial release. Wyatt faces 4 Class 2 felony counts of aggravated identity theft, 10 Class 3 felony counts of identity theft, and 1 Class 4 felony count of deceptive practices. All charges are pending, and she is presumed innocent until proven guilty in a court of law. Hope Animal Rescue is holding its first annual plant sale on Saturday, May the 3rd from 9 a.m. until 2 p.m. at SoCal Soul in Edwardsville. The event offers a variety of donated plants, including ferns and geraniums, to help raise funds for the 109 dogs currently in their care. SoCal Soul will also be donating 10% of their profits from the day to the rescue. The fundraiser supports veterinary care and daily needs, including costly surgeries for dogs like Duncan, a Boston Terrier, requiring $10,000 in spinal surgeries. All proceeds go directly to the dogs, highlighting the community's vital role in saving their lives. A fire broke out at an apartment building under construction off Meridian Road in Glen Carbon just the other day, causing heavy damage to the site. Firefighters from multiple departments responded promptly to the blaze, which is believed to have been sparked by a lightning strike. The video on RiverBender. Crews remained on scene to into Wednesday morning, managing the aftermath and ensuring the area was safe. Glen Carbon Police rerouted traffic to support emergency operations during that time, and fortunately, no injuries have been reported. Finally, in the news today, late Saturday evening, deputies responded to Tony's Ranch House in Godfrey following the report of a possible human foot discovered near the parking lot. Initial investigations by the Madison County Sheriff's Department, Coroner's Office, and an anthropologist did confirm that the item, not human. The discovery was made by an Alton woman dining with friends who initially thought it was dropped food or even a prank. Authorities are continuing their inquiry, but all current evidence suggests that the item originated from an animal. The incident caused concern, but since has been clarified that there is no human involvement and it's part animal. Just a story that you don't see very often, but something's definitely afoot out there. That's a look at what's happening around the Riverbend. Here's a look at your weather forecast. 56 degrees. It feels like 55 out there. Humidity at 96%. Today, mostly cloudy, rain, a thunderstorm this morning, followed by thunderstorms this afternoon. Be careful. There could be ponding on some of the streets and highways out there. Tonight, cloudy and mild. There will still be more rain and thunderstorms throughout the area. Temperatures will reach just about 70 degrees today and drop down to 63 overnight as we head into Thursday. On the first day of May, a high of 69, a low of 55 with more rain and thunderstorms predicted. On Friday, a high of 66, a low of 49 degrees. They are going to say it's going to be windy out there on Friday. On Saturday, on Sunday, no clouds in the sky, just sun. Both days identical to each other. A high of 65 on Saturday, a low of 45, and on Sunday, a high of 64, a low of 47, no clouds in the sky, and that's a look at the next 5 days. Here's what's happening now. It's 56 degrees in downtown Alton. It feels like 55 out there for time and temperature throughout the day. 618-465-4545. This time powered by Tom Laney's your local State Farm agent. You can also stay up to date in real time all the time by just downloading the RiverBender.com app. Man, Mike has that looking really good right now, where you can get your daily dose of all things local and all aspects of the RiverBender.com site, all at the touch of a button, plus push notifications and weather alerts. While I have you, let me fill you in on our friends at Centerstone. You know, they're going to be joining us to fill us in on their substance use disorder treatment and all the great services that they offer at 1010 today. And, you know, they are a national leader in mental health and substance use disorder treatment for people of all ages. They have a commitment to delivering care that truly changes people's lives, and with dedicated clinicians, they use evidence-based practices in their treatment programs, meaning the recovery care plan is developed for you and it's based on the latest science. Listen, it's 2025. Addiction can happen to anybody, but so can recovery. You can start utilizing these resources for your own recovery, or if you know somebody that's going down that path and could use that information here shortly. You know, it's never a bad thing to have that ahead of time. You can find out more at centerstone.org. That's centerstone.org. And don't forget to tell them that CJ sent you over their way. We'll take a quick break and we'll come back with more Daily Show as I'm still waking up and trying to figure out why my sinuses are making me feel like this today. Back in a quick bit, but first, downtown Alton.
I love you when you sing that song, and I got a lump in my throat 'cause you're gonna sing the words wrong. It's this movie that I think you like. This guy decides to quit his job and head to New York City. This cowboy's running.
When I got in the car accident at the ER, they gave me a prescription of hydrocodone. And over time, it took more medication to mask the pain. I moved over to drug seeking and found heroin and fentanyl. I went to the Centerstone rehab facility, and it was the best decision I ever made in my life. I have my own car, I have a job, there's nothing holding me back anymore.
Do you need to declutter your space? Time to call me, the Queen of Junk. Since 1993, we have grown to be the leader in residential, commercial, and property management junk removal. At Sparks Junk Removal, we are eco-friendly. We recycle, donate, or repurpose items back into our community. Trash is our last resort to the landfill. Plus, with our all-inclusive service, our crews handle everything from labor to lifting and landfill fees. Give us a call or visit our website, sparksjunkremoval.net, to reclaim your space today.
When you need a project done right, on budget and on time, trust Gillahan Concrete. Gillahan handles every kind of project, big and small. Commercial, industrial, residential, from room additions and garages to patios, driveways, and more. Gillahan brings quality and experience to every job. Family owned with over 30 years of service to our community. Call today at 618-781-3914 or visit GillahanConcrete.com.
Looking for the best barbecue in Madison County? Head over to Carver's Barbecue in Godfrey, Illinois. From loaded barbecue nachos to mouth-watering pulled pork, brisket, ribs, and more, Carver's serves up award-winning flavors you'll love. Family-owned, Carver's is all about fresh, made in-house dishes served daily. Come visit us at 2716 Groveland in Godfrey, or give us a call at 618-467-9999. Order online, get it catered, or stop by for the best smoked meats around. Where great flavors meet family tradition, you'll find Carver's Barbecue.
Have a rash, pink eye, or urinary tract infection and need care now? OSF On-Call Urgent Care is here to treat you. Start a virtual visit 24/7, whenever and wherever you need it. It's just that easy. OSFOnCall.org/virtual visit.
You're listening to Our Daily Show with CJ Nasello on RiverBender.com.
Hey, real quick, while I have you, we're going to be talking in just about 2 minutes or so to the Lewis and Clark State Historic Site. Departure Weekend is coming up on just a few short days, and I'm really excited to fill you in on this. We had so much fun with the group last year, and it's really a mix of everything that you and your family could want for really an expedition of discovery, from reenactors, historic artisans, and more. Will commemorate this important event. Demonstrations will be a part of it, and it's really just a great time to bring the kids out and really just learn a few things. And you know, what I think is really great about this too is that they're going to be having Thomas Jefferson in to visit the Lewis and Clark Departure Days, and it's going to be a great time. It's going to start May the 10th, run through May the 11th. This is going to be a great weekend with Kurt Smith. He was in the studio last year and just a wealth of knowledge, but wanted just to give you a slight preview on that as we're just kind of in the transition in between interviews. But we'll do this. We'll take a quick break. We'll come right back in the studio with Lewis and Clark State Historic Site. We're going to learn more about the Departure Days weekend that's coming up in just a few short days. Man, we're here in May, and that's just blowing my mind. This year's flying by so fast. Hey, before I take a quick break, let me fill you in on our friends at OSF Healthcare. Their prompt care office is truly the best. I told you that story about Grandma. You guys have heard it so many times now, but you know, whenever you're kind of stressing out because maybe you have that loved one that is just having a tough time and you don't think the emergency room's the, best place to go, and you go to those urgent cares and then they tell you, well, it's urgent, but you got to wait 4 hours after you schedule your appointment. That don't make much sense to me, but OSF Healthcare, they understand, and they took her right in the door. I mean, it was truly incredible. Right in, right out. They treated her like family, and she was feeling better in just a couple of days, and I know they'll treat you and your loved ones just the same. That office is right over there by Walmart on Godfrey Road, and then that staff over there is just incredible, but it doesn't just start and end at prompt care. I mean, every one of their services is just fantastic, from their emergency department, ICU, and every aspect of OSF, St. Anthony's Health Center, plus the Moeller Cancer Center. You know, there's so much more to discover, including a primary care provider that's in that OSF network. You can find out more by going to osfstanthonyshealthcenter.org. That's osfstanthonyshealthcenter.org. And don't forget to tell them that Riverbender sent you over their way. We'll take a quick break, and we'll come back with the Lewis and Clark State Historic Site right after this.
Has free checking become a thing of the past? Not if Liberty has anything to say about it. With 3 free personal checking options and even a free business checking account, free is alive and well at Liberty Bank. the local bank that gives you free checking choices and more cashing in your pocket. Bank locally, Bank Liberty. For more information, visit www.bankliberty.com.
Macias Insurance Agency, providing quality products with extremely competitive prices. As an independent provider, we source multiple companies to offer the best rates possible. Covering auto, home, business, and life insurance, our goal is to provide quality service that meets and exceeds customer expectations. You can rest easy knowing the Macias team is working round the clock to ensure that both you and the most important parts of your life are covered. Our qualified professionals make the insurance process easy so you can live carefree and focus on what matters most. Visit MaciasInsuranceAgency.com today to find out what our team can do for you.
No matter the season, Play It Again Sports in Edwardsville has the gear the athletes need to get in the game. Whether you're shopping for the newest sports equipment or saving money on quality used gear, Play It Again Sports carries what you need to maximize performance to get the most out of every swing, kick, stroke, or shot. We'll even buy your used goods, paying cash on the spot. We carry all the gear for all the sports all year long. We're your hometown sporting goods store. Play It Again Sports, conveniently located at 4 Club Center Court in Edwardsville.
You're listening to Our Daily Show with CJ Nasello on RiverBender.com.
We're gonna take a trip across the sea. Everybody come along with me. We're gonna hit the night down in Gay Paris. All over the world.
Welcome back to Our Daily Show. 9:18 is the time. On this last day of April, man, May 10th and May 11th are getting here pretty quick, you know? And we got Mike, and we have Ben in the studio. The Lewis and Clark State Historic Site Departure Days weekend is going to be coming up just before we know it, and it's really cool to see all the people that are, you know, going to be a part of this too, and really families come out, and not just families, but everyone that really has any type of interest in our region, our area, and just history in general.
Yes, this is the event at Lewis and Clark State Historic Site for the year. So we'll have dozens of military enactors, historic artisans, and then a special guest this year in Thomas Jefferson himself.
Well, and we had him in the studio last year, I believe. Was that 2 years ago? Man, that was a... Time's flying by over here in this room. But he was wonderful, and really for children and families and everybody to have that experience, you know, and get to learn really some great knowledge and really just some great history from the third president. That's pretty cool.
He is the reigning Thomas Jefferson at Colonial Williamsburg.
Been
there a long time.
The only thing I'm bummed out about, though, is I missed the John Adams debate at the Wildie that time.
Yeah. He was also featured on CBS Sunday Morning this year.
Kurt was
Smith
he?
Yes.
Wow.
Talking about the elections and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so he is very prominent and nationally known. You can Google it and find it.
Well, and honestly, it's one of those you can tell the moment he starts talking with you, too. You know, that's what I find that's just so impressive, because no matter what you talk or ask about, you're going to get a response and an answer, you know?
We're very happy to bring him down here, and something that's dawned on me over doing this the last couple of years is that for many of the people there, this is as close as they'll ever get to meeting a living president.
Right. I mean, you're right.
I've seen as many presidents in my life as I've seen popes. One. One, you know, so that's
right.
It's rare to even actually personally see your president.
Well, you're 100% right, Mike. And to bring someone in like that, too, that really has that, you know, from Colonial Williamsburg, that really lives this and has that, you know, national touch to it, and really brings that weekend completely together, because you wouldn't have Lewis and Clark without Thomas Jefferson, you know?
Yes.
Right.
And he's completely read all 50,000 plus of Jefferson's letters.
Oh, wow.
All of his correspondence and everything. So he's genuinely a living expert about it.
That's incredible.
Yes.
I don't think I could read 50,000 of anything.
No. No, I couldn't read $50,000 million bills, you know?
Well, and how do you guys prepare for a weekend like this? Because you're going to have, tons of people here, and to prep the site, especially now that we have the storm season upon us and the rain, it's got to be, definitely some work to manage.
Well, we've got to get the property clear, so Anthony, our site tech, he is doing some hard work of getting all the limbs cleared up and getting everything mowed and ready. That's always a plus. We're aiming to be outside as much as possible on the 10th and 11th. But in the event of really bad weather, the event will go on. We'll move everyone inside. And we have got a large interpretive center. There'll be plenty of space, plenty of room for all the kids to run around and check out all the stuff still.
And now, so what time are we starting on May 10th?
The doors will open at 9, but the presenters, we ask them to be ready to go, either demonstrating their craft, telling their stories, or demonstrating muskets or cannon fire. Anything they're doing, we ask them to be ready to go by 10 a.m. So from 10 to 4, you can expect people to be actively engaged in their craft or in their living history demonstrations.
This is so cool. And what I think is really unique about how you all do this is it's really built for every aspect of all ages. You're going to have something that's going to, interest the younger, children up to the teenagers all the way up to the adults. And I think that's really important.
Yes.
It is. And our volunteers, our presenters, the people we bring in, they are so passionate about this. And they've been doing it a while. So every person, not only does each thing kind of speak to a different age level, but any of our presenters can as well. They've told this story, or they've worked in this field for so long that they can answer the 5-year-old's question, or they can answer this complex question about the Lewis and Clark expedition that would be more appropriate in a lecture hall.
Well, honestly, I bet you the 5-year-old's asking smarter questions than I am, too.
They're tricky. They're tricky sometimes.
They are.
The grade school questions are the ones that always stump me the most.
I can easily see that. And now, with you guys doing this, as long as Departure Days has been, going on and taking place, is it getting easier to get the, process going? Does it become a well-oiled machine at this point?
I defer to the professionals. So, yes, it is a well-oiled machine from my perspective.
I love it.
So, as far as the event goes, Pam Imes, who did this job before me of putting on the event, left me some wonderful notes, some wonderful contacts. The success of this event is, years later, we can still point to Pam being the reason that it is so successful. But I start this basically the day after the event's over. I'm already confirming dates with everyone for the next year.
Really?
Wow. And most of our presenters, they love this event so much that this is blocked out a year ahead of time. They know that Mother's Day weekend is the weekend when we will also talk about Lewis and Clark starting their expedition. And so to that point, getting the speakers is easy, but when people retire or they move, that's when it gets tough. So we've not had a blacksmith since the 2019 event, but we have one coming this year. Adrian's going to try some blacksmithing, and I'm really excited to see how the public engages with him.
That's really cool. Well, I'm really fascinated about the frontier medicine. This is where I find things fascinating, because I wouldn't last, I don't think, a day in the 19th century. Maybe about 2 hours before I get dysentery or I get sick or got shown to the doctor and get sicker, What are we going to learn, though, and what are some of the instruments? Because I find this so cool whenever you get to really take a look and ask some questions about medicine.
So Jenny and Violet are the two people presenting on this frontier medicine. So we've got an array of medical tools. Mm-hmm. We'll also talk about some of the different minerals they were trying to use for medicinal purposes. For the record, don't use mercury as a medication. It's not good for you.
See, that'd be my luck. I'd go to the doctor for a cough the first day and get mercury, and go to bed.
The go-to for doctors back then was often to balance your humors or the amount of blood in your body. So bloodletting and leeches are usually the first thing they went to. So if you're a little squeamish, just tell Jenny and Violet ahead of time. They can tone it back a little bit. They're not here to gross you out too much.
They are looking for. They don't look
an array of tools.
Do they look for active demonstrators for bloodletting? I was ready to try. No, they don't do that. But
no, Jenny would be mad if we offered that. We wouldn't have enough of the first aid equipment.
I just think it's so cool, though, that you're able to gather all these experts and really folks that truly know this stuff. It's not, how some events are where they're just displays that you walk by and you read a card. You're really getting some interactive and critical thought discussions going out, too, which is really, I think, a valuable piece to this.
Yeah, and in the case of Jenny, she's a nurse. She does this as her
that's
regular
cool.
job as well. So she often brings in her own tools and like, here's the modern version, here's the historic version.
Oh, that's even
and it
better.
really bridges 200 years of time and science and improvement on the medical care we experience today.
Well, it would be cool to see the evolution of the tool, too. You know, and just to see from where it started to where we're at now would be really unique to see.
Yes.
Man, that's awesome.
The
Well,
old ones are so crude. They look like they'd hurt. The newer ones, maybe that could do the job without being too painful.
well, and also there's going to be the War of 1812 American 2nd Regiment artillery will be on hand, too, correct?
Yes, sir.
And now what are they going to discuss?
Artillery. They're some of the nicest people you'll ever meet, and they can discuss in a wide number of topics in living history, military encampments, how artillery worked.
Mm-hmm.
One man's wife makes some of the most decorative chocolate candies to give to the other volunteers you'll ever see.
That's cool.
Another reason to volunteer with us
really
in the
cool.
future.
Well, and it seems like, just touching on that, I mean, it seems like a really great atmosphere for everybody that's involved. If you're having folks that are making chocolates and just marking out a year ahead of time that, hey, we're going to be back here, you're doing something right as a team.
That is the goal. We want people to come back and to be excited when they're talking about history.
100%.
I'm sorry, the Cannon Boys will probably fire off a few rounds, too.
Yeah.
Oh, that'll be cool.
Yeah. So if you like big explosions, come see their demonstrations throughout the day. We'll have some musket fire as well. It's not as loud, so if you've got little ones that are a little sensitive to noise, maybe come out for the musket demonstrations and not the cannon. But they'll announce that with plenty of time. It won't be a surprise to anyone, but it will be a good show.
Man, you aren't near any neighborhoods, because otherwise that'd be fun for the police. There's something going on outside.
We've set off a few car alarms, but that's it.
That's awesome. Do you guys have a moment to stick around with me through a break?
Yes, love to.
It's almost 9:30 here in downtown Alton. We'll come back and learn more about Departure Weekend, May 10th and 11th, 10 a.m. until 4 p.m. with reenactors, artisans, demonstrators, and Kurt Smith. Thomas Jefferson will be in attendance, too, for a great weekend of fun for the whole family. Back in a moment right here on Riverbender.
When I got in the car accident at the ER, they gave me a prescription of hydrocodone. And over time, it took more medication to mask the pain. I moved over to drug seeking and found heroin and fentanyl. I went to the Centerstone rehab facility, and it was the best decision I ever made in my life. I have my own car, I have a job, there's nothing holding me back anymore.
Do you need to declutter your space? Time to call me, the Queen of Junk. Since 1993, we have grown to be the leader in residential, commercial, and property management junk removal. At Sparks Junk Removal, we are eco-friendly. We recycle, donate, or repurpose items back into our community. Trash is our last resort to the landfill. Plus, with our all-inclusive service, our crews handle everything from labor to lifting and landfill fees. Give us a call or visit our website, sparksjunkremoval.net, to reclaim your space today.
When you need a project done right, on budget and on time, trust Gillahan Concrete. Gillahan handles every kind of project, big and small. Commercial, industrial, residential, from room additions and garages to patios, driveways, and more. Gillahan brings quality and experience to every job. Family owned with over 30 years of service to our community. Call today at 618-781-3914 or visit GillahanConcrete.com.
Looking for the best barbecue in Madison County? Head over to Carver's Barbecue in Godfrey, Illinois. From loaded barbecue nachos to mouth-watering pulled pork, brisket, ribs, and more, Carver's serves up award-winning flavors you'll love. Family-owned, Carver's is all about fresh, made in-house dishes served daily. Come visit us at 2716 Groveland in Godfrey, or give us a call at 618-467-9999. Order online, get it catered, or stop by for the best smoked meats around. Where great flavors meet family tradition, you'll find Carver's Barbecue.
Have a rash, pink eye, or urinary tract infection and need care now? OSF On-Call Urgent Care is here to treat you. Start a virtual visit 24/7, whenever and wherever you need it. It's just that easy. osfoncall.org/virtual visit.
You're listening to Our Daily Show with CJ Nasello on RiverBender.com.
Welcome back. 9:32, a little bit of change on this Wednesday morning. We're halfway through the week. And We are 10 days away from the departure weekend. I mean, this is crazy to me that this year's flying by so fast. And you said it was a couple of weeks ago we talked, Ben. I thought it was like, last Tuesday. I don't even remember. It's flying by. Well, and before we go back into the event, we were talking during the break. So the Illinois Department of Natural Resources, correct, is the site?
Yes, so we run the site. We're the ones that are there to keep the lights on,
Gotcha.
keep the doors open, and we do a lot of the programming with the public. But really, it's the folks with our Lewis and Clark Society of America that make sure that people find out about the site. They're the ones that help raise funds for advertising. They help pay our presenters with food and gas money to get to the site to show off. Help us get a lot of really cool speakers throughout the year, just like we had just a few weeks ago.
Did that turn out okay?
It was a great turnout. We had over 70 people show up.
Wow.
It was a great way to break in the theater after it had been remodeled. So it's a perfect
when the remodel
way to start
happened?
the season. It was over the winter. It took way longer than we wanted it to, but the projection system, the sound system, it's all looking real good.
Well, and Mike, take me through the society a little bit and what you guys do in your operations on top of what Ben just said with helping provide the marketing and finding these speakers. It seems like this is something for the public to take note of because I had no idea how the relationship really worked.
Yes, well, historically we were very involved in the land swap and everything that got them the land there. That was before my time.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, now we run the bookstore down there, and it's an all-volunteer bookstore. Everyone is a volunteer. Any profits we make go back into the site to help provide the programming and things that aren't covered by the state budget.
Mm-hmm.
We're able to display some local artist wares, Mississippi mud pottery, Chad Tavis pottery. Mm-hmm. We have local people that make things to bring in. We have volunteers that made up a bunch of American doll dresses and donated the material and their time and everything.
Wow.
Yes.
That's really cool.
Yes. If you're looking for a quick, well-made local gift, the gift shop's a great place to show up.
That's incredible. What are the hours?
It's open from right now 10 till 2. As the summer opens, we'll expand the hours out till 4 o'clock.
Okay.
Yes.
And now, how can we, if someone's interested and wants to learn more, maybe even volunteer? I mean,
yes, we're always looking for more volunteers in the bookstore, as has been at the site also. And if you could call 618-251-5811 or go to campdubois.com, you can find information on how to volunteer. When I talk to people about volunteering in the store, what I suggest is come down. I work Wednesdays. I generally work on Wednesdays. Come down, just sit there and talk to me for a day.
Mm-hmm.
Watch what I do, see if it's something that you'd like to do, how you'd enjoy coming in. You never know who you're going to meet. Something like Pawn Stars in that respect. There's going to be days you don't meet anybody, and that's just the luck of the draw.
Right. Right. But it's good, though, for the public to know that there are volunteer opportunities out there, and really for the public to know you can find some really great items out at the gift store, too.
Yes, you can find some great items there, and it's a great place to volunteer, and you're actually helping the state and helping tell living history and how our area developed and what happened here 225 years ago.
Well, and honestly, too, on top of that, not even just our state and our region, but really our nation's history, too, and seeing that one of the more prominent, landing, that departure spot and going, hey, we're a part of something bigger here, and telling that story. That's really cool.
Yes.
I love this. So, whenever we're going back into departure weekend, how many volunteers do you need to make this kind of run efficiently?
So it's always over 50 volunteers on any given day. Some people are able to make some days and not others. We have a few less on Mother's Day proper, and we have to respect that.
That's fair.
Mothers do come first. But this year, I think our busiest day, we're going to have over 60 people that are either presenters that are coming in for the events, our regular volunteers that I'm putting to work on overtime, essentially, and staff and other staff from a few other sites like Cahokia Mounds that are coming to help.
Oh, wow.
It's all hands on deck kind of day.
Well, you guys normally get around 2,000 cars in?
That's we have about 2,000 people off the car counter. And, we're always hoping for more.
Man, that's a lot of people. Well, and it shows, though, it's really good to hear this, though, that there's that many people because it shows the interest in history. And it shows the interest in still the state of Sauk site and how important it is for area families, too.
Yes. Yeah, yes, it does. makes you a participant in it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, when you look at how fast life changes and then look at it a period of over 225 years, it's not as quite of a change. If you look at Dallas in the 90s and look at your life now, well, they all went to the middle of the room and answered a phone on the cord, and these were the very rich in the world.
Right.
Now we carry around a computer in our pockets that's more powerful than what the man landed on the moon with.
Right.
Right. So I mean, how has it changed? Back then you had to be really smart. If you wanted a yellow shirt, you had to know what flowers and plants to go out and pick and how to set them into cloth to make a yellow shirt. That's all there was to it.
I wouldn't have been wearing yellow.
and it's a real testament to how much of a family event this is.
It really is.
Pam, Mike, Brad, Cindy, all the staff that helped to start off this program over 20 years ago now.
Oh wow.
They all put in a ton of work to make it a success from the get-go, and we now have families that are bringing their own kids. I was a kid when this first started, and I'm bringing my kids to this.
That's got to be fun for you too.
It's a lot of fun to see that lifelong impact, that putting a historic tool in a kid's hand, they remember that years later, and they're like, I want my kid to be a part of this as well.
There's chaperones and teachers on Education Day that remember going there as students.
Mm-hmm. And thank you for that, because Education Day is what you're going to be doing on Friday before departure weekend.
Right.
Yes, it's the real start. It's the real start to the event. Go ahead, Mike.
No, I just said the 9th, Friday the 9th.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
Education Day.
Well, and you can see Mike Borko, not local bass guitar legend, dressed as a reenactor.
I will be captaining the White Pirogue.
That's what I was going to ask about. That was how we were going to end it, because this is one of the cooler portions of the event. Before we talk about that, how many fourth graders did you say you were having?
We've got 543 if the schedule is correct.
Goodness.
And then you add on about 3 chaperones or teachers per group, a few bus drivers. We're going to have around 700 people on the property for Education Day.
Do you need any Advil?
By the end, I'm feeling it, that's for sure.
But I love the fact that the kids are out there learning and really getting some hands-on knowledge, and it's really cool though for me to I mean, that's a lot of people in that space though. Is it just the way it's laid out too and all that, or?
So ideally we're outside, so even in a light rain we're outside, just to fit that many kids. But what I love is we've got kids from both sides of the river. We got Illinois students, Missouri students.
Wow.
And it's really 3rd through 5th grade because we have a little more of a spread there because some schools bring multiple classes. Mm-hmm. But the schools have been coming to this have been bringing their students here for years. They get 15-minute education stations where they'll go learn from the woodworker. Then they'll go over to the woman that's spinning thread. Then they'll go over to the 1812 guys and talk about cannons and camp life back in 1812. Then they'll move over and talk with Mike about what it was like to travel on boats on the river back in 1800s. Or they might talk to Mike here about trade goods and gifts and how to barter out on the frontier.
Oh, that'd be fun. Deal or no deal.
Exactly.
Yes.
Well, and we were talking a little about that White Pirogue, Mike, and take me through what folks can expect on departure weekend whenever they go and experience that for themselves, because it's beautiful.
Well, first of all, the expedition had 3 boats.
Yeah.
And the 55-foot keelboat replica is in the museum proper. And so we pull out the White Pirogue out of our garage and set it up on the grounds, and then we talk about certainly the dimensions and how did they propel a 32-foot vehicle up the river against the current.
Right. That's what blows my mind is, I mean, this is no easy feat. It's not like watching a motorized ferry going around, going up and down. I mean, and how much did those boats weigh?
I can't really tell you that. A couple of tons loaded.
Oh, wow.
In Clark's notes, he says it's about 8 tons fully loaded. And they got to move that against the Missouri.
Yeah. Now, if they got a good wind, they put their sail out. If there's no wind, well, they oar. And if they get in a little bit of shallow water, then they take a pole and they walk it upriver against the current again. And finally, if it's really shallow, they jump out of the boat, get on the bank, somebody throws them a rope, and they tow the thing up the river against the current.
And this might sound like a silly question, but what happens whenever you're done using the boat and you have to go start traveling on? Do you leave the boat or do you take it with you?
A couple of things. they had winter camped at Fort Mandan and Bismarck, North Dakota, in essence. And they sent the keel boat, the 55-foot boat, back to St. Louis with whatever notes they had and specimens and so forth. Then they proceeded on up the Missouri River, and where they couldn't go any further because of the falls of the Missouri. So they catched the Red Pirogue. That's the one we didn't mention. The a larger boat, river boat in essence, and the White Pirogue, and they covered it with branches and everything, a little bit for camouflage, but to keep the sun off of the wood. And then away they went. They portaged over around the falls. Somebody said, "Oh, it's going to take one day," and then what was it, 12 days or 18 days later, they finally were able to get around onto the river proper again.
And it's dug out canoes from then on.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Could you imagine? I mean, we've all been in the car with Mom and Dad going to Disney World, you know, and how stressful those drives could have been. And just I don't think we could have made it doing the Lewis and Clark. I know I couldn't have. I would have been not a good traveler.
A lot of fights. But just like parents like to obsess about how to pack the van for a trip.
That's right.
In our interpreter center, where we've got the display of the keelboat, we have all the things they had to have for the expedition on display, and you see how it's packed onto the boat. So,
man, that's cool.
Over their winter here in Illinois, Captain Clark has the men loading and unloading the boat, wanting to make sure it's packed just right. And it feels like a parent getting ready for a road trip.
This is so cool. And I just can't wait, because I'm going to stop by on Sunday, I think, or on Saturday, because because Mother's Day. Mom will get mad at me, I think. But on Saturday, I'll be there to say hi and go through this, because this is such a unique event, and really one that all ages, no matter if you have families or not, should be a part of too. Is there anything else we should talk about before we say goodbye?
Yes. While we would love to have everyone come to see us, of course, on Departure Weekend, the 10th and 11th, on the 12th, Kurt Smith is still in the area. He'll be doing a program as Thomas Jefferson here in Godfrey.
Oh, okay.
They're partnering with the Daughters of the American Revolution.
Really cool.
At Godfrey Methodist Church at 6:30. So that is free, open to the public. It's pretty accessible to get in, so people will be able to come in and see the president. And they're doing this to kind of kick off America's 250, celebrating 250 years of the United States.
Isn't that wild that we're here now? I mean, that is really cool to be a part of that 250-year celebration. Well, and seriously, all, thank you so much for coming by, and I'm glad we got to talk a little bit about the relationship and the partnership with the society and then the State Historic Site, and really just to hear a little bit more about this boat, because I've been fascinated ever since we started talking about this the first time, Mike, about how much this weighed, and man, all I'm telling you is I would have been a bad explorer. 9:44, a little bit of change. We'll see you at Departure Day weekend. Coming up May 10th and the 11th. You stay there. I'll be here in the studio with more Daily Show next.
Has free checking become a thing of the past? Not if Liberty has anything to say about it. With 3 free personal checking options and even a free business checking account, free is alive and well at Liberty Bank. The local bank that gives you free checking choices and more cashing in your pocket. Bank locally, bank Liberty. For more information, visit www.bankliberty.com.
Macias Insurance Agency, providing quality products with extremely competitive prices. As an independent provider, we source multiple companies to offer the best rates possible. Covering auto, home, business, and life insurance, our goal is to provide quality service that meets and exceeds customer expectations. You can rest easy knowing the Macias team is working round the clock to ensure that both you and the most important parts of your life are covered. Our qualified professionals make the insurance process easy so you can live carefree and focus on what matters most. Visit MaciasInsuranceAgency.com today to find out what our team can do for you.
No matter the season, Play It Again Sports in Edwardsville has the gear the athletes need to get in the game. Whether you're shopping for the newest sports equipment or saving money on quality used gear, Play It Again Sports carries what you need to maximize performance to get the most out of every swing, kick, stroke, or shot. We'll even buy your used goods, paying cash on the spot. We carry all the gear for all the sports all year long. We're your hometown sporting goods store. Play It Again Sports, conveniently located at 4 Club Center Court in Edwardsville.
You're listening to Our Daily Show with CJ Nasello on RiverBender.com. Daily Show with CJ Nasello on RiverBender.com.
You wanna stay out with your fancy friends? I'm telling you, it's gotta be the end. Don't bring me down. No, 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 no. I'll tell you once more before I get off the floor. Don't bring me down.
Wow. This year is going to be by before it started. This is incredible. Welcome back. 10:38 and a little bit of change. We are starting to get rid of the congestion on 270. Kristen Burns is back in the studio with Wood River Main Street. You were just recognized like a couple of, not even last week.
Last week.
Take me through that. That's pretty exciting.
So I was honored as a woman to watch in leadership. So
we've known that.
Right. So I went up to Springfield and yeah, it was a really nice recognition. And
how did that work? What was it like?
It was kind of humbling. There were so many amazing women in that room. So just to be in their presence and be able to hear all of the things that they're doing across Illinois, it was pretty incredible.
It's kind of got to be inspiring, too, to realize that there's a lot more heartbeat that's left in the state than we come to realize, too.
Absolutely. There are so many people doing such cool things. I just am very humbled to even be a small part of it.
I saw it and I'm like, man, that's a pretty big deal, and really awesome for you. And just, it's great that you are recognized because you've been working. I mean,
I have been working, yes.
Well, and now Wood River's never stopping moving either. And Wood River Main Street doesn't, because you just had a grand opening Sunday.
Yeah, yesterday.
Now, take me through that because we added it to the calendar and I didn't get a chance to reach out yet, but when I'm on the show, this is a new coffee shop?
Yeah, it is. Actually, it's like a really cool concept. It's more of like a collaborative space.
Wow.
So they really tapped into local vendors. So they have all these local vendors that have brought in their stuff. So you can come in and shop for all different things, candles, home decor, clothing, like literally anything. Grab a cup of coffee. And then they also have a t-shirt shop in the back. So they can do like custom t-shirts super fast. So it's
that's awesome.
It really is like a collaborative space, which those are the kind of businesses that we want downtown. Because, these vendors are going to outgrow this space and then we can just scooch them right into a new brick and mortar and then have another business.
That's really cool. And that's really, I think, such healthy growth for so many people that I think get nervous about that initial startup of, what's that first year look like? How much does it look like is the bigger question. And now to do this in a community driven way, which is really, it's how everyone in the Riverbend was successful back, in the 70s and 80s and even before, because it was collaborative without having a definition for it yet.
Exactly. And it just really gives us the opportunity, we can talk with these vendors, and a lot of these vendors we have worked with before on different events and things. They come to all of our different vendor markets. So it's nice to see them have like a home base.
Right.
And then we just keep pushing to try to hopefully get them a bigger home base.
Well, and too, I mean, y'all are doing so much on the city side of things with utilizing some TIF funds and really trying to bring these businesses in, because I've talked to a few that have, had the opportunity to look in Woods River, and the investment is really a very exciting one, because there's so much that you guys can do to really try to invite them and really welcome them into the community on both the city level and the municipal, and with what Main Street does.
Absolutely. It's really nice to be able to just work with the city and have that good relationship with them, because we bring people in. I'm talking to people like literally weekly that are wanting to move downtown and do different things. And even not downtown, if we're not in the TIF district, even other places, people are like, hey, I've seen this spot. What do you know? Like, what info can you give me? So I'm able to give that information to them and then be able to, kind of start that conversation with the city, which is really nice.
Well, and it's such a streamlined way of doing it too, because,
really is.
The city's got a lot of things on their agenda, and there's so many things to tackle each and every day. So for Main Street to be the one that spearheads this and puts the point of contact out there to get the ball moving, and then also be there every step of the way to make sure that they're taken care of on both sides, is really important.
Absolutely. Like with the new business with West End that just opened, we really tried to help them as much as possible, just get the word out, and we just did our ribbon cutting and things like that.
That was cool.
It's just so much fun to
be
able to do.
They did nice with that building too. That's beautiful.
It's gorgeous. Yeah, it really is.
Well, and now coming up this weekend.
Yeah, on Saturday.
You got the cleanup?
Got the cleanup on Saturday.
Now, this is going to be cool, too. I like these cleanups that more and more are starting to do. I know Alton's starting to pick up quite a few more on top of what Pride Inc.'s doing, and then there's just various others. But I think it's nice because it gives that kind of community investment on a smaller scale, but also a grander scale. Because how many times have we kind of walked our dog or something and gone, come on, man, pick up that darn trash.
Right, exactly. Yeah. And
it's cool.
Yeah, and it's nice because people can, clean up their own neighborhood if they want to. Grab the supplies, grab a donut, and then just head to wherever you want to be so that you can clean up that space that is important to you.
You know what I would do? I'd make it a competition, the greatest trash race. Who can collect the most bags of trash? And we get some businesses to throw some big prizes down.
That might be something that I need to work on for
I'm
fall.
telling you,
I mean, that might be a good idea. Yeah.
So with that being said, too, what time does this start and where do we need to be to register?
So you can register online on our Facebook page. There's a link that you can register directly from there, but you don't have to register. That kind of just helps us with some volunteer info so that I can get some data, because I'm a data weirdo and like to have all of that information.
Well, how many times though, and we kind of touched on this I can't remember when, but I do remember talking about this, is that sometimes it's so many towns and municipalities are off to the wrong track without realizing it because they have bad data.
Yeah.
And it's just the truth of it. So if you can really focus in on that and really understand who you're talking to, not necessarily to change perspectives, but to gain a better understanding of what that town or region or what that district needs, it goes so much further and saves you years of stress and, just public morale being down.
Definitely. Well, and with the data that we use, so like we just did our annual report for last year, and we had 396 hours of volunteers.
Wow.
That's a lot of volunteer hours. And if you change that over to how much that would be in money, you're looking at like $13,000 worth of time that they have given us, which is huge. So that's a huge get for any organization when you have that kind of support.
When it shows you the promise and potential that's on the pipeline too, because I mean, that's only going to go up with more that you do. I mean, every event you guys have is full. I mean, that is pretty incredible. I can't wait for Halloween again because it was so fun. It was really fun. And then to do a little bit more in Christmas now that we know what we're doing and how we can set this up, we're feeling better about this. So we can do the winter market, and it's really cool because you also have the summer kickoff, which I think is something that you guys really have tapped into as being your own. Because not a lot of, and not taken away because everyone has their own events, but this is so cool to bring the community together and really just every aspect of it too, to get ready for some summer fun in a good way.
Absolutely. Yeah. I love the summer kickoff. I think that, I mean, all of my events are favorites. So, but
like children,
yes, exactly. But I really, really like the summer kickoff. And this year we're doing some different things. We have a dunk tank and we're going to be dunking the mayor, which is always nice, and the police chief. So, if you've got some frustration, come pay a couple bucks and throw a ball and dunk him in the water. So we're excited to
How's
do
my
that.
sticker looking now, pal?
Right, exactly. Yeah.
But I think it's really cool because it shows off something that Wood River has that people strive for, and that's a really good working relationship with first responders and public safety officials, but also administration.
Yeah.
Because it seems like, especially just the last time around, Tom didn't have anybody running against him, but it still didn't seem like that because of how much support he had, and people were ordering signs and, or trying to and sharing all these posts. And it was cool to see that there's really this good relationship on both aspects of the political front and the municipal government side, but also just with organizations like Wood River Main Street, which really is the heart and soul of what's driving downtown. And it has been. It just changed a name a couple of years ago.
Yep.
This is so cool. And now, what are you looking to do with Main Street this year? Is there anything that's coming up that's going to be a little bit different before we dive into summer kickoff and some of the sights and sounds?
So we've got some really cool things kind of behind the scene things, but also out in the public. We are working on our new business directory, which is going to be so neat and so interactive. We're really excited for it. It's going to be an interactive map that you can grab online, or you can actually get an app that's going to be Visit Wood River.
No kidding.
Yeah. So
This
it's
is
really,
cool.
really cool. And then, you can
You can also watch our daily show. Oh, no, sorry. That's the wrong app.
Right. But
This is awesome.
you put in, you want restaurants, and it's going to show you all the restaurants on the map. You click on it. It's got a picture. It's got the menu. It's got all of that information, which is really, really great. And then it also integrates with our new community calendar that we're working on. And the really cool thing about our calendar is
it an ICS calendar? Please. Oh, I love you. Thank you. It makes my job easier. That's what I was asking.
So I really, really love our calendar because it integrates with other people's websites, which is so much fun.
Thank
so you literally send out a link to these businesses. They can fill out all of their information. If they have an event, they can throw it on there. And then it all gets into this one section, and then it's everywhere.
When you know what else happens after that? CJ gets the ICS file, and then we have it on Riverbender, and no one even has to touch anything.
I know, it's fantastic.
It's just, this is I love it. I love what you're doing here. And I think it's good that you talk about this because I think so many times it's not necessarily organizations like Main Street, because you and Sarah are really on top of things.
Yeah.
But for other organizations or businesses that don't know how much easier it can be to get the information out, because bars have bands playing all the time.
Absolutely.
So why not get an ICS, calendar or some type of online calendar where people can download into their phones and they just know, hey, Borderline's playing at Bon Air, at 7 p.m. on a Friday, or they're at Pump House and they're having another karaoke night that's going out of this. That is nuts over there, by the way.
Oh, yeah.
I didn't realize that was a thing.
Oh, it's a big thing. Yes.
Have you gone?
Oh,
do you karaoke it up?
I do not karaoke. I sit in the back and just cheer for everybody else.
Do you have a go-to karaoke song?
Absolutely not.
Mine's Family Traditions, Hank Williams, or courtesy of the Red, White, and Blue.
There you go.
Depending on how much Rumplements has been drank already.
Right.
But,
yes, definitely.
On May 17th from 11 a.m. to 2 p.m., you don't have to worry about Rumplements. You just got to worry about your family having a good old time with some summer fun, with some music, some games, some food and drink, and 30 vendors.
Yeah.
Nice.
We always get lots of vendors for these. There's so many people that just want to be involved with our events.
That's true.
So it's so nice to be able to have that support and just the different vendors, and we love them all.
Well, I love that you can dunk the mayor, the police chief, or the Councilman Plank.
Okay. Yeah. Come on. Who doesn't want to do that?
This is really cool. And now take me through the live music. Spencer McDowell?
Yes. We love Spencer. He does our farmers markets every year. And we're really excited just to have him. He's just a great local artist, and we love the way that he plays, and just people come and listen to him. It's just nice and cool and just really fun.
Well, it's a good summer vibe too, kind of relaxing, and now some of the games. What are the games?
Oh, I can't tell you.
Are they secrets?
Yeah. We have some really fun games. We do have mini golf. We're doing mini golf in the street, which is really fun.
So you've heard my idea about mini golf, haven't you? I'm going to give you this one too.
Okay, sure.
Okay.
I should be writing these down.
You should. I'm telling you. Good thing we have this on demand. It's two events. One's Bar Olympics. Okay.
Yes.
And that's when the bars come together and have the regulars compete in Olympic style games.
Love it.
For money for charity in Main Street. The other one's mini golf around town.
Yeah.
So no matter what.
Oh, so it's in different businesses?
And
I've seen that.
Isn't that so cool? I think we need to do it. I have a team ready to go. I can carry the team on myself because I'm a mini golfer for life. Very serious.
I am quite the mini golfer as well.
Me too.
Yes.
Like down in Florida is where I train with the alligators biting the hot dogs. I'm telling you, I'm ready to go. So, vendors though, take me through just a variety of different ones.
Oh man, yeah, we have shirt vendors, we have food vendors, we have a guy that does hats, which is really cool.
That is
cool.
cool.
Like all different kinds of hats.
I'm becoming a hat guy now, and I shouldn't yet. I got the hair still, so I gotta keep.
Right.
But I like the trucker hats.
I know, me too. I like them too. Yeah. So, but yeah, we have so many different vendors, craft vendors, and all sorts of different things. So we're really excited. And then food trucks, and all the normal things.
And then, of course, the shopping that you can do while you're downtown.
Absolutely. Yeah, we're doing it on the corner of Wood River Avenue and Ferguson this time.
Oh, cool.
So it's like that big corner.
Yeah.
Since the road is closed because we're doing the sewer separation, we figured it was a good time to be able to do this. So let's take advantage of it.
It's smart.
So, yeah, I mean, that's a great space. So we'll be able to use like the parking lot that's near there and just get a lot of people right there. And I'm really excited to get some pictures underneath our arch, our Welcome to Wood River. So having all of that bustle, that's just the marketing side of me that likes the pictures of those kinds of things.
Well, and you have to, because it's all about branding, and to make sure that, people do know what the new version or the next generation of Wood River is, because there's a lot going on.
There is a lot going on. Yeah.
So with that being said, let's take you back to the community pickup or the litter pickup.
Yeah.
It's Saturday at what time?
It's from 8 to 11. And we have 3 different locations that you can pick up all of your supplies. We have trash bags and gloves and like the picker-upper things. I don't even know what the grabbers.
I guess.
I like the picker-upper.
I just like the robot arm is what I call it.
Exactly. Yeah. So we have it at Central Park, which is right next to the Roundhouse, down at our office at 61 East Ferguson, downtown, and then over at Brushy Grove Park. So you can pick one of those 3 spots, whichever's closest to you. Grab your stuff, sign in, just let us know where you're going to be so that we can have a truck come and pick up all of that garbage, and then they take it to the city dump for us. So, I mean, it's going to be super easy. Just come, help us, help clean up our neighborhoods.
It should be nice on Saturday, too.
Thank goodness, yes.
Before the Kentucky Derby starts, you can go and
exactly.
do some good community will before all the fun. And then on May 17th, 11 a.m., do not do this, CJ. You're forgetting to 2 p.m. You're going to be a part of the Wood River Summer Kickoff. This is a fun. Have I done your summer kickoff yet?
You have not.
What day is May 17th? Is that a Friday?
It is a Saturday.
Oh, okay. That's not too bad. Saturday. I might be able to do 2 hours there. That'd be fun to do.
Yeah, that would be fun. We like when you're there.
I'm going to go ahead and pencil that in and let's see if Ryan's working.
Cool.
That'd be fun.
Yeah, we like having you. And then we've got more stuff happening.
17th. Sorry, I'm just doing some work.
Farmers Market will start in June. I think it's the 19th of June. Our farmers market will start.
Yours is growing too.
Yeah, it is. It is. We're starting a little bit later this year just because last year we had a lot of the farmers just have a hard time with their colder weather crops.
Mm-hmm.
So we're trying to just push it back just a bit just so that people can get ready and get things going so that they're not losing it when they're trying to come to ours and then go to Alton's as well, because we don't want to interfere with that.
That's really cool. Yeah. Well, for more information, you can follow along on the Facebook page or the article that we put out on this as well. And really just excited to see that app come out too.
Yeah. Yeah, we're really excited. We'll shoot it over to you so you've got it.
Please do. And that way we can come on the show and talk about it again when my calendar's fixed. 10:53. Kristen, thank you so much for being adaptive and all that and hanging out with me. We'll take a quick break. More Daily Show with Willie's Hotfish right after this on RiverBender.com and Roku TV.
Get access to care for anyone, anywhere, at any time. No appointments, no waiting rooms, no traveling. OSF on call.
Village Dispensary has the best deals in Godfrey, Illinois, with specials 5 days a week. Mondays roll in the week with 20 to 30% off select pre-rolls. Tasty Tuesdays, enjoy 20 to 30% off select edibles. Waxy Wednesdays, enjoy 20 to 30% off select concentrate and vape brands. Thirsty Thursdays, sip and save with 20 to 30% off all drinks. Flower Friday, grab select 3.5 gram flower deals starting at just $20. Village Dispensary, come meet your best buds.
When I got in a car accident at the ER, they gave me a prescription of hydrocodone. And over time, it took more medication to mask the pain. I moved over to drug seeking and found heroin and fentanyl. I went to the Centerstone rehab facility, and it was the best decision I ever made in my life. I have my own car, I have a job, there's nothing holding me back anymore.
Do you need to declutter your space? Time to call me, the Queen of Junk. Since 1993, we have grown to be the leader in residential, commercial, and property management junk removal. At Sparks Junk Removal, we are eco-friendly. We recycle, donate, or repurpose items back into our community. Trash is our last resort to the landfill. Plus, with our all-inclusive service, our crews handle everything from labor to lifting and landfill fees. Give us a call or visit our website, sparksjunkremoval.net, to reclaim your space today.
When you need a project done right, on budget and on time, trust Gillahan Concrete. Gillahan handles every kind of project, big and small. Commercial, industrial, residential, from room additions and garages to patios, driveways, and more. Gillahan brings quality and experience to every job. Family owned with over 30 years of service to our community. Call today at 618-781-3914 or visit GillahanConcrete.com.
Looking for the best barbecue in Madison County? Head over to Carver's Barbecue in Godfrey, Illinois. From loaded barbecue nachos to mouth-watering pulled pork, brisket, ribs, and more, Carver serves up award-winning flavors you'll love. Family-owned, Carver's is all about fresh-made in-house dishes served daily. Come visit us at 2716 Groveland in Godfrey, or give us a call at 618-467-9999. Order online, get it catered, or stop by for the best smoked meats around. Where great flavors meet family tradition, you'll find Carver's Barbecue.
Have a rash, pink eye, or urinary tract infection and need care now? OSF On Call Urgent Care is here to treat you. Start a virtual visit 24/7, whenever and wherever you need it. It's just that easy. OSFOnCall.org/virtual visit.
You're listening to Our Daily Show with CJ Nistello on RiverBender.com.
Maybe once, maybe twice.
Welcome back to our daily show. 10:08's the time on this last day of April, and man, oh man, that rain is getting to me, my friends. This weather is making my sinuses go crazy. We are just a couple of seconds away from another great conversation with Centerstone, and always great to discuss really some of the amazing services like substance use disorder treatment. And I know that Dominique will be joining us, and I believe Stacy's going to be joining us as well, or today are we having a little bit of a change, or we still have Stacy with us too? We'll just go ahead and dive into this conversation now with Centerstone, and really just picking up where we left off with the Recover With Us campaign. And Dominique, how are we doing this morning? Oh, can you hear me? Can you hear me? How are you this morning? Can either of you hear me? By any chance, no? Why don't we do this? We'll take a quick break, and we'll come back with this conversation in just a couple of seconds and figure out that technical difficulty right after this on RiverBender.com.
Has free checking become a thing of the past? Not if Liberty has anything to say about it. With 3 free personal checking options and even a free business checking account, free is alive and well at Liberty Bank, the local bank that gives you free checking choices and more cashing in your pocket. Bank locally, bank Liberty. For more information, visit www.bankliberty.com.
Macias Insurance Agency, providing quality products with extremely competitive prices. As an independent provider, we source multiple companies to offer the best rates possible. Covering auto, home, business, and life insurance, our goal is to provide quality service that meets and exceeds customer expectations. You can rest easy knowing the Macias team is working round the clock to ensure that both you and the most important parts of your life are covered. Our qualified professionals make the insurance process easy so you can live carefree and focus on what matters most. Visit MaciasInsuranceAgency.com today to find out what our team can do for you.
No matter the season, Play It Again Sports in Edwardsville has the gear the athletes need to get in the game. Whether you're shopping for the newest sports equipment or saving money on quality used gear, Play It Again Sports carries what you need to maximize performance to get the most out of every swing, kick, stroke, or shot. We'll even buy your used goods, paying cash on the spot. We carry all the gear for all the sports all year long. We're your hometown sporting goods store. Play It Again Sports, conveniently located at 4 Club Center Court in Edwardsville.
You're listening to Our Daily Show with CJ Nicello on RiverBender.com.
Let's go ahead and try this one on for size. Welcome back to Our Daily Show. Can you two hear me? No? We'll see if we're able to get this conversation with Centerstone going now. Can you guys hear me by chance? Huh. That is so bizarre that you can hear the music, but you can't hear me. So, why don't we do this? Unfortunately, if we're having some technical difficulties, I don't know what that could be causing it. We might have to go ahead and postpone this interview for now, if that's okay. And we'll take another break and just kind of reset here, and we'll talk with our friends from Centerstone in a couple of days from now. But really sorry about that. We'll take a quick break, and we'll figure out what we got going on here on RiverBender.com and Roku TV.
Has free checking become a thing of the past? Not if Liberty has anything to say about it. With 3 free personal checking options and even a free business checking account, free is alive and well at Liberty Bank, the local bank that gives you free checking choices and more cashing in your pocket. Bank locally, bank Liberty. For more information, visit www.bankliberty.com.
Macias Insurance Agency, providing quality products with extremely competitive prices. As an independent provider, we source multiple companies to offer the best rates possible. Covering auto, home, business, and life insurance, our goal is to provide quality service that meets and exceeds customer expectations. You can rest easy knowing the Macias team is working round the clock to ensure that both you and the most important parts of your life are covered. Our qualified professionals make the insurance process easy so you can live carefree and focus on what matters most. Visit MaciasInsuranceAgency.com today to find out what our team can do for you.
No matter the season, Play It Again Sports in Edwardsville has the gear the athletes need to get in the game. Whether you're shopping for the newest sports equipment or saving money on quality used gear, Play It Again Sports carries what you need to maximize performance to get the most out of every swing, kick, stroke, or shot. We'll even buy your used goods, paying cash on the spot. We carry all the gear for all the sports all year long. We're your hometown sporting goods store. Play It Again Sports, conveniently located at 4 Club Center Court in Edwardsville.
You're listening to Our Daily Show with CJ Nicello on RiverBender.com. On RiverBender.com.
You wanna stay out with your fancy friends? I'm telling you, it's gotta be the end. Don't bring me down.
10:11. Welcome back. Daily Show. My voice hanging on. Calvary Baptist Church and Calvary Christian School in the studio. May the Lord be with you, and trivia night coming up just in a couple of weeks. How's everybody doing?
Doing well.
Great.
Yeah, thanks for having us.
Well, and honestly, we were just talking off the air, and the school is growing.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, we finished with we had 28 students enrolled this first year, and we're enrolling new students for next year. And we've got a couple of our learning levels that only have a few spots left for next year. So
wow.
Yeah, so it's going well, and it's been a lot of fun.
How's the environment out there? How's the learning been going?
It's been great. Our students have done a fantastic job. We've got just a few weeks left, so they're starting to review for finals and getting ready for that. Our last day is on May 23rd, so they're prepping for that. But it's been great.
Really cool. And Mike, we were talking too. May the Lord be with you, because May 4th, obviously, May the 4th be with you. And people are going to Vegas and getting married by Yoda.
No, I didn't.
Did you know that? Yeah,
surprising.
you can do it for like $750, or you can get like Darth Vader or something.
I do know that in 2001, this was 20-something years ago, that I think it was 100,000 people in England identified their religion as Jedi.
Wow.
And that was 20 years ago. I'd be interested. It was really interesting. And I'd be interested in knowing what that is today.
Well, May the 4th be with them, I guess. I don't know how to decide.
Very interesting, the fact that whole, Star Wars culture, if you go to those Comic Cons, I mean, it is a serious.
So when I was at KTRS, they had there was a couple of conventions because of just where Westport is, and man, people get into that stuff.
Yeah,
they do. I mean, that outfit costs more than my house payment.
Well, we'll be making lightsabers Sunday night. Our revival services actually start this Sunday.
Oh, cool.
Sunday morning, and then Sunday night at 6 o'clock. So something for the kids and students to do at 5 o'clock is we're going to do the May the Lord be with you with preschool and kids.
This
we're
is
going to make
cool.
lightsabers, and we're going to talk about how God is with you wherever you go. The forest is something that we kind of created as people, to kind of create something awesome. But the great news we want to tell kids is that God is real, and He sent Jesus because He loves them. We'll make lightsabers, and we'll do some stage combat things and have some fun. But
that's cool.
What we want them to walk away with is knowing is that God is real and He loves them. And then the students, our teenagers, will be having a time out at the pavilion. They'll be having something called Food O'Clock at 5 o'clock to get some food before the revival services kick off at 6 o'clock.
That's really cool. What are the ages for the May the Lord be with you?
Yeah, so that's preschool all the way up to 5th grade.
Oh, cool.
And then students are from 6th grade up to 12th grade. It starts at 5 o'clock.
Wonderful. And then the revival, take us through that real quick.
Yeah, so revival services, they start at 10:30 Sunday morning. Dr. Bob Pittman's going to be with us again this year, and just a great time of encouragement.
Yeah. Dr. Pittman's been with us. I think this is maybe the 4th year in a row now. He's an evangelist from down in Alabama, and just does a fantastic job. And like Mike said, he'll be with us on Sunday morning at 10:30, Sunday night at 6 o'clock, and then he'll be doing some 10:30 a.m. morning services.
Wow.
During the week, Monday through Wednesday. So he comes in, we sing, and he preaches, and we have lunch together, and so yeah, that'll be coming up this week. But Dr. Pittman does a great job.
That'll be really cool.
Yeah.
And then coming up on May the 16th, that's my sister's birthday.
Oh, okay.
I remember, and you didn't get me nothing for mine. I'm just throwing that out there on the air today. Trivia night and a silent auction at 7 p.m. at Calvary Baptist Church Gym. $20 a person, $160 per table. And Dave, are you going to be the master of ceremonies?
I am, and I'd be happy to mention your sister's name again that night if I think of it, but I won't. So
Well, and now take us through what type of trivia we're going to be.
It's all kinds of stuff. We're doing 7 rounds this year. We're doing a little shorter. We did a trivia night last year for the school, and it was 10 rounds, and we had a good time. But I thought, 7 rounds kind of keep the evening moving a little bit. Just some random categories, but one category that's going to be really fun is we asked the students from the school to submit 10 questions based on their curriculum.
Oh, wow.
So I'm calling this round, Are You Smarter Than a Calvary Christian School Student? And when they sent me the questions, I can testify that I am not smarter than a Calvary Christian school
I was going to say,
student.
see, I could never do that. That would just set me up for failure.
Yeah.
You know?
I'm glad they sent me the answers. But, I might have been able to get some of them, but but that'll be fun that'll kind of give everybody there an idea what the kids are learning, with the classical education and whatnot. So it's going to be a lot of fun. We're doing a silent auction as well. But we'll keep the evening moving, and we're raising funds for a playground at the school. We're doing a specific thing. Maybe Wade can address a little bit about what that's all about with the playground. So.
Yeah, we've been working with some designers and getting some options for a playground on our campus, and we'll have one of the fun things we'll do that night. We'll be revealing a couple of different options of the mock-ups, so we'll let everybody see the 3D pics of what the playground's going to look like, and there's a couple of different color options, and so people that come to the trivia night that night will actually get to vote. They'll actually get to determine what the color of the playground's going to be, and they'll get to participate in that. And so, all the funds that we make from the auction and the trivia night that night will go to help us put that playground up on our campus. So we're looking forward to that.
That's really cool. And, do you have one there now currently?
No, we don't.
Oh.
And this will be,
wow.
This will be like what you'd see at Glazebrook or Gordon Moore. I mean, it'll be a big playground facility. So we're looking forward to it.
That's really cool. Well, how much money can we raise that night with the silent auction? What type of prizes are we winning?
We've got Chad and Meredith Woodman, on Woodman Collision Center. They're members of our church. They work with us in the school. They're helping us with the silent auction. So they've got all kinds of great things lined up. Actually, I texted Chad last night and I said, tell me some of the things that you've got. And, I know there's golf packages and Cardinal tickets.
Oh, wow.
Blackstone, electric mowers. They've got lots of really, really good stuff for the silent auction.
I might have to miss my sister's birthday.
It'll be, there'll be some good stuff at the auction for sure.
This is really cool. Now, is it all in person? Do you have any online auctions set up?
The auction will all be in person.
Okay.
Yeah.
I like that. That's the well, she's in Kansas. I don't have to drive down. I can do this. I think I can be there on the 16th. I'll just FaceTime her while I'm there carrying off a Blackstone.
There you go.
You could really get her a nice gift.
That's right. That's really true.
Very true.
I won you this golf package, but I don't play golf, That's where I come in. So what I think's really cool is just to hear how the school's coming along, because, I mean, it's kind of been fun to be along from the start of this kind of, this inception. And would you see you guys doing more of these type of community events for Calvary Christian? I know you do trivia nights and a couple of other things. Are you looking to add more?
Yeah, I mean, in terms of our fundraising, one of the things we said early on, we know sometimes that parents can be beat to death with that in schools, private schools in particular.
Oh, for sure.
So we try to keep that pretty minimal in terms of that sort of thing.
That makes sense
on a fundraising perspective, but. Anything that we're able to do in the future to get the community involved and finding out more about the school, we're always looking for opportunities to do that.
And that's what I just think's cool, because you're doing it in a way that really is inviting and welcoming to say,
Absolutely.
hey, here's who we are and here's what we can offer you and your prospective, student too.
Yes, and that'll be a part of that night as well. We'll have some time built in just for maybe some of our students to share, or just to give a little bit more about the school.
Mm-hmm.
It's not just about raising money, but we want people to come and be able to learn about what we're doing and what we offer, because obviously we believe in it, and
right.
And so we want as many folks in the community to know about what we're doing.
Can you buy mulligans?
There will.
We're going to supply them.
I was going to say there will be mulligans. Yes.
Yeah. Each table will have a supply of mulligans, one mulligan per round. And I will say that to people who are thinking about coming, if you don't think you're good at trivia, that's the worst reason not to come to a trivia night.
Right.
'Cause the trivia is the least important part.
Right.
It really is.
Right.
And I hate to say that because I'm pretty competitive. If I was playing, I'd want to win. But a lot of people aren't that way. And it's like, by Sunday, when we all gather for church that Sunday, nobody's going to remember who won.
No.
But they're going to remember all the fun they had and the money that we raised for the playground. That's the main thing. And everything they learn about the school. The actual trivia will come and go. Because it is trivial. So, but it's a fun way to get people together. And of course, they can bring their own food. They can fellowship with their friends and other people and just have a great time. And that's the main thing. So every time somebody says, "Oh, I'm not that good at trivia," I said, "That's no reason not to come. You still ought to come and support the school."
100%, and really just to continuously watch it grow too would be such a cool thing, especially with how early on in the journey we are. You know, you can really say that you were there from the ground up. And you know, Mike, going back to the 4th, you know, may the Lord be with you, and then going into the teens activities and then the revival. What do you hope and families take out of this? You know, if they're able to stop by and learn a little bit more of what Calvary Baptist has to offer.
You know, a lot of times people just wake up automatically stressed. You know, I don't know about you, but sometimes there's just times where you wake up and you just feel the weight of the day or the week or the year, and we want people to come to revival services and just be encouraged and reminded that there is a God that loves them and wants to have a personal relationship with them. And we hope kids that walk away with that as well, that there's a personal God, not just a force. There's not a force, but that force that people are looking for is a personal God, and his name's Jesus.
That's really cool. And
then at VBS this summer, we're going to be talking about the same thing. The theme's going to be magnified. It's going to be about how finding the greatness of God in the smallest of things, whether that's bugs. Our family just got through watching Honey, I Shrunk the Kids classic.
Have you ever seen A Bug's Life 2? That makes me cry. That's a tough one. That's a tearjerker.
Yeah. And, you know, you don't think about those things, like the smallest of things God still cares about and he takes care of.
Well, and it's such great lessons, too, for, you know, a child or any youth to truly understand and appreciate. Because, I mean, how many times do you see children that really haven't, you know, had that empathetic approach and really had that moral compass that's, you know, faith-based, and it's not a slight on them or anybody. It's just the way the journey is in life and how long it takes you to get there for some people. But when you start to really think about those things and the causes and effects and, you know, really who we are internally, it's a really interesting thing to see the children kind of go through and their personalities change.
That's a good point, CJ. You know, I think about that sometimes. Like, sometimes we forget how big everything is when we're small.
Right.
Remember, you go back to your school and you're like, this is a lot smaller than I remember the school being. You know, but kids are always looking up, and God cares about them no matter how small they are.
Yeah. It's really cool.
Yeah, that is June 9th through the 13th from 9 to noon. You can go on our website and register for that, and we'll have plenty of materials out there for people to register at.
Anything else coming down the pipeline?
We have our music camp as well.
Oh, okay.
And that's going to be in July as well, July 21st to the 24th. And again, that's going to be a time where kids can come and learn scripture songs, songs that move. They're going to be burning calories. So it's going to be a fun week for preschool, 3s and 4s, all the way up to 5th grade as well.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and I would just say from the school perspective, CJ, I would just encourage folks to check out our website, CalvaryChristianAlton.com. We just completed a new promotional video for the school that's on our website on the front page there. And it's about a 5-minute video that just shares a lot about, you can actually see our kids and see the facility and see them having fun, and it shares a lot about our school and what we're all about. And they can find out anything they want to know about the school there, and set up an interview to come in and talk to us if they're thinking about, you know, maybe being interested in enrolling, or at least just starting that conversation, asking questions. They can do that there. And so, we'd love to have folks check it out.
When does enrollment end for you all?
It won't.
Oh, okay.
We'll take students all. Now, we have a capacity, obviously. We have a couple of our levels, like our kindergarten, first grade level. We've only got about 5 spots left for next year. Our 4th and 5th grade level, we've only got about 3 spots left. So some of our levels are close to getting to that.
It's incredible. It's really good.
To where we'll be full for those levels. But we'll assuming, you know, we've got a spot, we'll take students all throughout the summer.
Well, and seriously, anytime you want to come back on and fill us in on, you know, as we get closer to the other summer events, and then also anything going on with the school, you're always more than welcome to do so.
That's great, man. We appreciate it.
Before we take a quick break, there has been a National Weather Service alert. The severe thunderstorm watch has just been issued for 10/23, and that will last until today at 3 p.m. So just be advised, you can stay tuned.
Has free checking become a thing of the past? Not if Liberty has anything to say about it. With 3 free personal checking options and even a free business checking account, free is alive and well at Liberty Bank. The local bank that gives you free checking choices and more cashing in your pocket. Bank locally, bank Liberty. For more information, visit www.bankliberty.com.
Macias Insurance Agency, providing quality products with extremely competitive prices. As an independent provider, we source multiple companies to offer the best rates possible. Covering auto, home, business, and life insurance, our goal is to provide quality service that meets and exceeds customer expectations. You can rest easy knowing the Macias team is working round the clock to ensure that both you and the most important parts of your life are covered. Our qualified professionals make the insurance process easy so you can live carefree and focus on what matters most. Visit MaciasInsuranceAgency.com today to find out what our team can do for you.
No matter the season, Played Again Sports in Edwardsville has the gear the athletes need to get in the game. Whether you're shopping for the newest sports equipment or saving money on quality used gear, Played Again Sports carries what you need to maximize performance to get the most out of every swing, kick, stroke, or shot. We'll even buy your used goods, paying cash on the spot. We carry all the gear for all the sports all year long. We're your hometown sporting goods store. Play It Again Sports, conveniently located at 4 Club Center Court in Edwardsville.
You're listening to Our Daily Show with CJ Nicello on RiverBender.com.
Then you really might know what it's like to sing the blues. Yeah, then you really might know what it's like. Yeah, then you really might know what it's like. Yeah, then you really might know what it's like.
Welcome back. 10:33. Lacy McDonald in the studio.
Yes.
We're writing about baseball.
Baseball.
No, base.
Oh. Is that because sometimes in old
it was
articles
split-
it's
yep,
split in the middle?
it's split in the middle.
I looked down because I was trying to remember who it was here, and yeah, in the ad for it, it's baseball, 1925.
So honestly, I've always thought that was because it was just a different thing.
Really?
Yeah,
But
I
it
was
was
like,
a completely
I
different
thought
sport?
like baseball was like the new baseball, so they just decided, let's just go and make this modern and combine the two.
Well, this is why my job is so hard a lot, because things used to be spelled in slightly different ways but meant the same thing.
Oh, I'd go crazy.
Talked about that with Halloween. It used to have like an apostrophe in the middle, like Halloween.
Okay, I've seen that. I don't know if maybe we have. I don't know what I did yesterday, but I do know that drives me crazy.
Yeah, it's hard to search. It's hard to do a keyword search because then you're not looking for the right thing.
Oh my God. Yeah, no, I'd go crazy doing your job because it's not like you can just call the person up. They're dead.
No, you just find really weird, creative ways to do everything. You look for just Hallow and in that time period, or you look for you look for baseball as a phrase.
I bet you'd be great at finding people on Facebook.
I am good at it.
I bet you are. I could just, the moment you sound like you would be an FBI agent for sure. There's some
I'd use
people that can,
my powers for good. And
there's a
not evil.
lot of people that can do that. So I just can't. I'm like Sherlock Holmes, but like in the Sherlock Holmes movie with Will Ferrell, that because Sherlock Holmes was never really that brilliant. It was always what's his face?
Oh, Watson.
Yeah. That's kind of me. I'm like Holmes.
I have
just
to
there
remind
for the
myself
pleasure,
to just ask people questions about themselves. Like, if I like want to know somebody's job, I have to remind myself that it's like a normal question to ask another person and not me go like, I'll figure this out later. Like, no, that's weird, Lacey. Just interact with people in a normal
what's
way.
so funny is some people try to ask me about this, and the question that's always the hardest for them to ask is like, so do you like make a living doing this? And it's like, no, I just show up and You know, I go home and I got to go fund me for the bills, you know. I don't know why. Like, it's just, I don't know why my job is so hard for people to connect to. Like, it is a job.
Right.
It's not a real job, I'll be honest.
No, I mean, you have to come here every day and you have to be on every day.
Yeah, but I don't have to, like, actually do real labor, you know? I'm just talking to the microphone.
I think you do as much labor as a lot of people
Mentally,
do.
possibly. Possibly. But it was so funny because that's been the question lately. It's like, so do you make some money off of this? And it's like, no, I just...
Here for the good Alton.
I'm here for everyone's listening pleasure, you know? That's all I'm here for. And watching pleasure, too.
Yes.
So, the Rip Van Winkles were a
Rip
baseball
Van
team.
Winkles, yes.
What's up with that name? I think that's where we start on this. Like, who is Rip Van Winkle? Because I know that name somewhere.
Oh, Rip Van Winkle is the guy, it's from like I don't know if it's a fairy tale or a legend or whatever. I guess a legend. Who went to sleep and woke up 20 years later and then everything was different. Have you heard of that?
So it's a story. It's not a real person. I thought this was a real man.
No. Not a real
Stop.
Man, real baseball
I don't
team.
need to feel this silly today because, like, for years I thought Rip Van Winkle was a real thing.
Well,
like,
now you have a new bit of information. Don't feel silly about that.
oh man, but you know how many people I've like used the Rip Van Winkle line to, and I thought, you know, I'm just giving old Rip some love and.
What's the Rip Van Winkle?
I don't know.
line?
I just like pulling out his name for some good punnage. You know, I just Rip Van Winkle.
I don't think that's a problem.
Okay.
And now you're not even, you're paying homage to a story.
Well, who is the author of this story?
Oh.
Uh-oh.
I don't
Washington
remember.
Irving.
Yes.
Because I'm on
Yes.
Google.
Okay, people
Okay.
come ask me questions, and I'm like, I don't know this. I have to look it up. That's what you're doing.
So you know what's funny though?
What?
You know how many times people call, you know, like, or they'll say, you know, is that what did the, like in an article? We'll put out an article, and someone will go like, well, what happened? On the comments, and it's like, well, that's what the article's for. It's not Facebook's not just the picture and the thumbnail.
Oh, they don't read the article.
They just said like, what's going on, or what happened, or how did this happen? What? God invented this thing called reading, and it really does go a long way. You know what? But for the Rip, that's how I'd feel if someone asked me a question that they could Google for you. I'd be like, no, there's a Google machine right over there. Google machine. You see that?
See, librarians are like, if Google could also find you the best resources instead of just the most popular ones.
See,
so
gotcha.
I don't want it to sound like Google replaces real research. So I do like it when people ask me things that they could Google.
See, never mind.
Well, no, if it's a story where you've already provided it.
Oh, yeah, that's different.
That you've already provided
Yeah,
it. But if it's a question someone has, even if they're like, this might be a stupid question, I want to be able to get them the best answer.
So, like, you don't just type into Google and that call it a day. Like, you're going through databases and stuff for it?
Yeah.
See, I didn't know that's how you did it. I would just be Googling.
Well, it depends on the information. So, like...
This is cool. We'll talk about baseball in a second.
So, like, if somebody's looking for family information, for instance.
Right.
We might Google the name to find a recent obituary because a lot more is put online now.
Sure.
But we would also go to Ancestry Library Edition, which is a little bit different than a personal ancestry account, but it's got all the, like, census records.
Are they pretty good about that? Is it a good database?
I don't use the personal one a lot, but Ancestry Library is wonderful. It's
really cool.
Very user friendly. You can type in a name and it'll find similar names, so that way you don't have to worry as much about like spelling it perfectly every time. We look in the newspaper databases. We have Newspaper Archive, which has the Alton Telegraph from 1836 to 2012, and then we have the more recent issues on a different database. But we look in there. That is. It's looking for text specifically. So then if you're looking for a name, you have to spell it correctly.
Gotcha.
So then we would also go in and spell it a whole bunch of different ways.
Oh, see, that's what I was going to ask you. If there was a typo in a write-up somewhere.
Yes, or just do the first name with another, like if you had a last name and you thought it would have incorrect spellings, you could do like the first names of both of the parents and some of the children. Like there are just a lot of different ways to look for things.
Did people spell their names? Weren't there like back in like not like back 50 years ago, but like 100? Weren't there a couple of different variations of spelling last names?
Oh yeah.
Like it wasn't like a misspell, but it was just how that individual wrote their name.
Yeah, and sometimes there'd be a change that you could see. Like there was an obituary for, it was either Forrest or Winter, but I know someone's last name is Winter, and I know this has happened when she's done research where they changed.
Is she a cold person?
She's wonderful. Actually. She's not
because
cold
of
at
Winter.
all.
Because of Winter.
Yeah,
I
no, I get it.
Little pun.
But in one obituary, the father's name was Winter, and then the child's name was Winters, or vice versa.
See,
so something like that.
That would throw me off 100%.
And, yeah, so you have to look for all of them. So that's what we do. We try to help people find all the different ways to search for things.
See, that's why I just find that so... because, like, to me, I go nuts because I, like, the one time I did try to find stuff, I just gave up within 10 minutes.
Well, and one of the biggest things is that you can't trust information. Like, you can't discard something because it's not exactly right. So, like, if you find... for instance, a census record that has a misspelled name or that has a date that's wrong that you know is wrong based on like family information or whatever, you can't just discount it. We sort of like put that in a maybe pile and then go back to it later because like with census records for a period of time, neighbors could answer for a family. Like if the family wasn't home, the census taker could just ask their neighbors like, hey, who lives at this house? How old are they? What are the kids' names?
Oh my goodness.
So Or there could be language barriers. There's all kinds of things. So part of what we do is just try to help people figure out how to interpret all of that information.
Right.
Because it's overwhelming.
Well, and honestly, it's really fascinating to hear how you do this because I don't know how you could, especially with all the different typos and things and how wonderful articles were. I'm sure back then when you had maybe just one article about a person and then you got to go back and just... Oh, man. No, thank you.
Next week's article is like that. And I'm not going to be here next week, so I'll tell you all this. So it's about a woman who was, she was ordained assistant pastor at Cherry Street Baptist Church. And it listed her name as Louisa Arnold.
Okay.
But her real name was Mary Louise. And her first husband's last name was Arnold. But her second husband's last name was Stoltz, I think. And so for a period of time, she was listed as Mrs. William Arnold. For later in her life, she was listed as Mrs. Henry Stoltz.
Oh.
And he'd been married before. So there was a previous Mrs. Henry Stoltz.
Oh, goodness.
And in her obituary, luckily, it had her full name, both of her husband's names. It mentioned that she had been part of Cherry Street Baptist. So like the obituary pulled it all together. But you would then have to look for all these different variations. And the original article didn't even have the correct name. So that's what we do.
That is really fascinating. Well, and you know, what I find fascinating too is just seeing this kind of tie-in down here on the Alton Riverfront in 1925.
Yes, all right. Let's talk about baseball.
We will, but I got to make the audience mad. We're going to take a quick break real quick. And we will actually talk about the article that Lacy wrote about. That is why she's here. I just sometimes like to chat it up. You weren't Centerstone either. Man, this show's falling apart.
Yeah.
This show's falling apart today.
They're going to be like, that's not a service we offer.
Well, it was kind of a bummer. It was the weirdest thing. They could hear my commercials and my music. They just couldn't hear me.
Oh.
And I have a pretty decently loud voice. That does carry sometimes. Maybe it's, I don't know, technical glitch, but we're going to have to reschedule with them again. That's always a bummer. 10:43, a little bit of change, more Daily Show on this Wednesday morning when we actually enter Lacy's segment next.
Has free checking become a thing of the past? Not if Liberty has anything to say about it. With 3 free personal checking options and even a free business checking account, free is alive and well at Liberty Bank, the local bank that gives you free checking choices and more cashing in your pocket. Bank locally, bank Liberty. For more information, visit www.bankliberty.com.
Macias Insurance Agency, providing quality products with extremely competitive prices. As an independent provider, we source multiple companies to offer the best rates possible. Covering auto, home, business, and life insurance, our goal is to provide quality service that meets and exceeds customer expectations. You can rest easy knowing the Macias team is working round the clock to ensure that both you and the most important parts of your life are covered. Our qualified professionals make the insurance process easy so you can live carefree and focus on what matters most. Visit MaciasInsuranceAgency.com today to find out what our team can do for you.
No matter the season, Play It Again Sports in Edwardsville has the gear the athletes need to get in the game. Whether you're shopping for the newest sports equipment or saving money on quality used gear, Play It Again Sports carries what you need to maximize performance to get the most out of every swing, kick, stroke, or shot. We'll even buy your used goods, paying cash on the spot. We carry all the gear for all the sports all year long. We're your hometown sporting goods store. Play It Again Sports, conveniently located at 4 Club Center Court in Edwardsville.
You're listening to Our Daily Show with CJ Nistello on RiverBender.com.
Alrighty, welcome back. Wrapping up the show with Lacy today. So the St. Louis Stars were originally the St. Louis Giants. And they were playing the Rip Van Winkles, who I recently found out was not a real person.
Right. The Rip Van Winkles
baseball
we were playing
team
were real people.
Yeah, they were real people.
Just to clarify.
I just wanted to kind of throw that out there. Who names a team after a book? Like, you could have named it anything. Like, the Pie Saw Bird was already there, wasn't it?
Yes.
So why didn't you just name it the Pie Saw Bird?
I don't know. But, I mean, there were other... So the Rip Van Winkles was a social club. And I don't know where they got their name, but I do know that you had to be married to be part of the social club. And so I found all these like different clubs. Like there was going to be like a divorced club because they
was Alton flying high in divorce?
I guess. I was kind of surprised.
For back then, that's pretty interesting. Wow.
Because there was also another club, and I can't remember the name of it, but that was just for single people. But apparently the divorced people couldn't be in the single people club, and they couldn't be in the Rip Van Winkles. Also, this is a fun story.
Oh my God.
When Sydney first asked me to do this, she asked if I could do like just a quick, like every day, hey, here's something that happened in Alton 100 years, well, however long ago. And I realized I couldn't because there were things like, it would have been like the Rip Van Winkles are holding a dance. And I didn't know what the Rip Van Winkles were.
Gotcha.
And so I realized that it was going to take a lot more research to actually say anything. Because otherwise it was just, who cares? Like, what does that even mean? And I also didn't know, like, are the Rip Van Winkles a racist group? Like, what am I talking about?
That's true.
So.
That's a good point.
Yeah. So I didn't want to inadvertently bring up something that needed further explanation, and I didn't provide it. So anyway, the Rip Van Winkles were a social club for married people. I don't know why they were called the Rip Van Winkles. It might have something to do with the marriage part of that. Who knows? I'll have to look into that later.
Were these actually athletes?
Yes, they were athletic people who were married.
Okay, so it wasn't like just like neighbor Jim down the road that hasn't seen his toes since, the first financial crisis of 2008 is out there playing shortstop.
No, they were legit.
Okay, so this is a real baseball team.
It's a real baseball team, but that wasn't their job. Like, it wasn't their job was to play baseball.
Was there only, were the only people on the team a part of the club?
Yes. So they sometimes got excited when people got married because then they could join the baseball team.
Oh my God. He didn't love me. He just wanted to play for the Rip Van Winkle. Man, if you get divorced, you're really thrown down the ladder, aren't you?
Oh, yeah, because you can't be part of your social club or baseball team anymore.
Man, that's got to be a sad club, I guess.
The divorced one?
Yeah. I mean, because you yearn, I'm sure, for the single club because that's got to be more fun.
Right. Right. And I also don't know if you're widowed, what club you're in. I didn't look at that.
They just throw you out.
Who knows?
Gone.
Yeah.
So what I think's so cool about this, we just had on Ed Wheatley.
Yeah.
And Ed's always great when he comes on the show, but he was talking about his new book that's coming out, which he'll be at Hayner somewhere down the pipeline this year discussing, but really just about St. Louis sports history altogether and some of the sports legends. And the St. Louis Stars were definitely a part of that book and got to talk a little bit about it. And I mean, just the thought, because you don't know the lineup of the St. Louis Stars that day.
I know some of them that planned to be here, like who they planned to bring, but I don't know exactly who played.
So that's what I still find cool, though, is that there's the chance that Cool Papa Bell was playing down on the riverfront in 1925. That's really cool. He's one of my favorites. I think that's awesome.
Yeah.
So also with that, like, did they play multiple out-of-town teams? Was this like a big occurrence? Was this a regular thing? Or
I know that Alton teams played St. Louis teams quite a bit.
Really?
So yes. And it wasn't even just that, like, I know that the St. Louis, I can't remember if it was the St. Louis Stars or the St. Louis Giants played, I think it was the St. Louis Giants played the Cuban Stars, which were a team from Cuba.
Missouri?
No,
or like actually
like
Cuba?
Cuba, like
really?
the country. And I want to say like 1916. So they were playing at our Sportsman's Park, and it wasn't even just local teams. Like there were teams from other places playing in Alton for Alton audiences.
Could you imagine that road trip, though, if you lost?
Well, they were traveling all over the country.
Oh, okay. So it wasn't just like a one and done, like they're on a boat and then they're back on the... Oh, man, that would have been brutal.
Well, and I have a fun St. Louis Stars fact that I learned.
Yeah.
And Ed might have mentioned this, but the St. Louis Stars actually had their own stadium in the 1920s
I didn't
in
know
St.
that.
Louis. Yeah. And it no longer exists now. It's been torn down. It's part of the Harriet Stowe University campus, I think. But no one had any photos of it. And then the Missouri History Museum found a photo and identified it as the stadium. So for years, no one had anything. And then they had this photo in their collection that they were able to identify. And now you can go on their website and see a picture of it.
The Negro League started in 1920, which is fascinating because, I mean, you're only 5 years into the startup of this league, too. So it's kind of interesting to see that kind of the evolution early on and just seeing how their games were played and just some of the schedules of those guys, too.
Yeah, and a lot of those teams were playing before that, but that's when it officially came together as a league.
That's so cool. Well, all I know is that the game cost 50 cents, which I Googled. Mm-hmm.
Oh, look at you.
Googling machine works. $9.15. It would have been $9.15.
That's not bad. I go to that.
But, I mean, if you're a Stars fan, you would have wanted your money back. They got smoked.
No, the Stars
Oh, sorry.
won.
I mean, you're right. If you were the Rip fan, I just try to get that team's name out of my head. If you're a Van Winkles fan, I would have totally not gone. I would have watched from maybe the overpass or some field down the road.
Well, they did do better the second time that the Stars came to play the Rip Van Winkles, and their nickname was the Rips, if you ever need to know that.
Stop.
The Rips. But
let me get a rip!
CJ, you could have been the announcer for these shows.
Well, I did.
For these shows, for these baseball games.
It was a show if it's 13-1. I mean, that's a showing. But I did the River Dragons last year.
I know. And he was great.
I'm going to miss it this year.
Yeah.
It's all good. But so, with that being said, were there a lot of people at this game? Did I ask you that? Were there a lot of people?
I don't remember if you asked me that, but there were a lot of people. And I don't know what that means because that's just always what it said. Like, there was a great showing of Altonians at the game.
Watching our team get smoked.
Yeah.
So, they played again, when? Did they play the second time?
You know what? This is really cool. I put a bunch of sources on here. So that way, if you wanted to know more about the other games that were played, you can find them, or you could just get in touch with me. I already have them saved. But they played against the Rips in May. So they played late April, mid-May, and then they played against the Alton Buicks, which were car employees. That was a
could you imagine?
For car employees.
Could you imagine though? Like, let's just throw a local car lot, like a Munganast baseball team against the Cardinals for an exhibit. Like,
exactly, that's what it is.
That is wild to me. That was a thing back then.
Yes.
Wow.
Yeah.
Do these guys know like how good these players are? Like, is that a thing?
They were good.
Well, I mean, but like, do they know like obviously, like we all know how good Cool Papa Bell was and how fast he was and everything. But like back then, do they like are they advertised as such?
Yeah, they kept advertising it as like fast baseball. Like the Stars were playing fast baseball. And I've read that they were the way that they played, the Stars specifically, the way they played was like really, really fun to watch. Like it was very fast. It was very active.
That's how they came up with the term fastball.
Maybe.
I'm just kidding.
I don't know. Maybe. So then they played the Buicks in June. So there were at least 3 games that summer that the Stars came.
Did they travel back quite a bit through the years, or was it just that one year?
You know, I tried to find more instances, and I think the next one I found was maybe closer to 1930. So I don't know.
They said, you guys got to get better first. We aren't coming back here.
They're like, that was fun, but we gave you 3 chances. And
yeah, like we aren't here just to smoke you. You're like, this ain't the Globetrotters. We're here. We're a real team.
Right. Well, I think it was like a money-making thing for all of the baseball teams.
Yeah.
Like, they would coordinate having these really good teams come out so that people would pay. So it could have been that it just didn't make a lot of financial sense to bring them out because it cost money. And then the more impressive they were, because in 1928 the Stars won. They were the champion, the National Negro League World Series champions in 1928. So I feel like at that point they were probably like, yeah. No. But no. Thanks. Yeah.
No.
Maybe. I don't know. But
I'd do a good turn down service. I mean, I really would. I would love to have made that phone call.
You can record yourself saying these things and just charge people.
I could. I've always thought about that. Well, I haven't always. I thought the last year with AI, I'm like, what if I just came up with a CJ app? Things that CJ would say. And that way you aren't the one that's getting in trouble. It's me.
Yeah. And you already have to deal with that.
So. What the hell, So, with that being said, I want to know who got the one run. I mean, just to say that you got the one run off the baseball team, that's pretty good.
You know what? That's probably in the article. So if you want to know, you can read some of
Do we have any photos? Like, how cool would it be if someone's like, I actually found a photo in my garage from my grandpa when he played on that team?
That would be amazing.
If you had one of those, that would be pretty fun.
Yes. Yeah, if y'all have old photos or new photos, anything that you think represents Alton, and you are willing to share it with us, we can put it on the Illinois Digital Archives, and then we'll have it forever where people can see it and use it.
You know what I'm bummed out about today, too? I've been taking my iron and my vitamins, and I started to look really good. Now today I'm back to being really pale. Well, I looked up whenever you were giving your call to action, and I saw that.
Oh, that you looked really pale. I don't think you look pale.
Huh. Maybe it's just my eyes. Maybe it's just this light.
Yeah, maybe it's the lighting.
Yeah, it is. It's definitely the blue light special getting ready to take place at Kmart here. But it's, I don't know. I just looked up. I'm like, man, yesterday I looked more red, looked more colored.
Weather. Maybe you're just
more colorful.
Lawn.
I just am tired of looking like the wall.
Maybe it's yellow. Maybe yellow isn't.
But I kind of it makes me look more approachable.
Yeah. I don't know. I'm not saying it's bad.
I totally just didn't rip this out of the closet and get out of the house today. I very articulately plan every outfit,
I look sick in some colors, so.
Well, pretty much all of them for me. That's why you never see me in black,
Oh, really?
Oh, God. Oh, no, not for me. Not the color.
Okay.
Not the color. But I wish we had fun things like this, though. Like, we had, the River Dragons play the Cardinals one day.
Yes.
Like, how cool. Or, the Springfield Redbirds or, one of their minor league teams.
Yeah.
That'd be fun.
It would be super fun.
Or, the Grizzlies, if they played the River Dragons. That'd be a fun one, too.
Mm-hmm. Do some crossovers.
That would be cool.
Yeah.
Man, we're coming up with some great ideas today. What was your favorite part about this article?
My favorite part was figuring out what the Rip Van Winkles were. Since I'd had that question for a year now, because I never got around. I mean, I wasn't using them in articles, so I never got around to actually figuring out what the Rip Van Winkles Club was. So it was kind of like a full circle moment where I was like, okay, there's something I could have written about without feeling weird or bad about. And now maybe in the future, I can do more research to figure out all the different social clubs you're allowed to join based on your marital status.
Don't get divorced in 1925 in Alton. That's all I'm going to tell you. Well, and honestly, I think it's really cool that the MLB put in, the Negro League stats and stuff too. Isn't that really cool?
Yes, actually, that was probably my favorite part. So if you have a chance, there's a really cool timeline on the National Baseball Hall of Fame about segregation and integration in baseball. And something I found really interesting is at first it was integrated. Mm-hmm. So there were black players playing on white teams. It was a mixed team. And then there was these sort of like gentlemen's agreements where managers and owners of baseball teams all kind of like together decided they were not going to have any more black players. And so it wasn't like written in stone. Everybody just did that. And there were some that kind of were already in. And so they played out their careers and then just no one else was ever chosen or hired. And so it showed from then during Reconstruction through the present. And there are things on this timeline that cover that entire period. So the first time that there was like a black umpire, the first time there was a black manager, stuff like that. And, it's 2020 when they finally put the statistics of the Negro Leagues players in with the players that they already had on there. So it was really cool to see it not just as like, okay, Jackie Robinson became the first, broke the color line and then we're done. It was like the incremental stuff and then where we've come from then. And that's what I love because I feel like it's too easy sometimes to just look at those big moments and not see all the work that had to go into them and also like why they even happened in the first place. So the Rip Van Winkle part was cool, but also just seeing some of these players get the recognition they deserved, seeing that being celebrated and also just where we've come beyond just Jackie Robinson. So.
Well, and honestly, it's a really good article. And whenever you wrote it, I was excited when I saw it coming out the other day. And I hope everything goes well. We'll talk in a couple of weeks.
Yeah, I'll be out for a couple of weeks. It's just a hip thing. It's not cancer related. I feel like if I'm gone for a while, people are going to expect the worst at this point. I finished radiation a couple of weeks ago, so I'm done with the cancer thing.
Feeling good?
I'm feeling great.
Good.
Yeah, it was easy. I went on my lunch break every day. It wasn't even, it was just at Alton Memorial. They have a great cancer Siteman, like radiation satellite office there. Mm-hmm. Wonderful. Everyone was fantastic. So I'm done with that. I'm just going to get a little hip thing fixed and then I'll be back in a couple weeks.
There we go.
Yeah.
I look forward to seeing you.
You too.
No, we aren't. We're out of time. I only got an hour or so left and then I'm going to go home and go back to bed. Man, this weather just got to me today. I don't know. I'm out of time. Hey, we got a good show for you tomorrow, though. So why don't you join me then? Until then, try your best to stay out of jail.